Probably should have shaved before starting this video, but today we're gonna go over my everyday carry and we're gonna get into it right now. Alright, I've laid out my everyday carry here on the table. There's not much, but we're gonna get into it. I try to keep it pretty light and simple. I guess we'll start with my phone. So my phone of choice is the white, or I guess silver iPhone 14 Pro here. I've had this since it came out, and I gotta say it has been a great phone. It's probably been my favorite iPhone that I've ever owned. The cameras are fantastic on this phone. I have been seriously impressed with them, especially with the new wide camera. The fact that it shoots Pro RAW has been awesome, and this has honestly kind of replaced my desire to own like a point and shoot everyday camera, because the photos I get out of the iPhone 14 Pro are great. Not much else to say about my iPhone. It's like everyone else's iPhone. I watch YouTube, browse Instagram on it, listen to Spotify, things like that. But yeah, that's my phone of choice. A lot of people would say you should go for the Max model, but I don't like a big phone. I'd rather just have one that's a little bit smaller and fits in my pocket. I think the Mini was a little too small. I know a lot of people loved it, but I'm 6'3", so and I have pretty big hands, so the Mini was always just a little too small. But I find that the 6.1 inch on the iPhone 14 Pro here, or the regular iPhone 14, to be kind of the sweet spot for a phone. Alright, moving on from there, I have a couple pairs of headphones. So I have, like every other Apple enthusiast, I have Apple's AirPods Pro 2 here, and these have been great. I have been a fan of AirPods ever since they came out, like everyone else. I bought the first pair like right when I could, and then the first gen AirPods Pro I actually bought like instantly. Like I saw that they had released like the little sizzle reel or little highlight reel on YouTube, instantly bought it and had them in the cart before I finished actually watching the video. And then so when the second ones came out, it was kind of a no-brainer to pick these up. I use these mostly just for like, yeah, listening to music, watching videos. They come in handy when you're trying to watch something on a public toilet and you're in there for a little while, and you know you do it too. I'm not the only one who does that, but these come in handy when you have those longer sessions in a public restroom. Yeah, AirPods Pro 2. But then my other little earbuds of choice are actually the Beats Fit Pro. So these I picked up exclusively, I don't know if that's focusing up there, exclusively to use at the gym. So I find that the AirPods, I guess I'm an ear sweater. So the AirPods, they tend to fall out of my ear when I'm running or exercising or doing anything that I get really sweaty. Really sweaty and played Fortnite. No, just kidding. So yeah, I switched to working out in the Beats Fit Pro because they have, if you can see it here, this wing tip that kind of hooks into the canal of your ear, and I have found that to be kind of perfect. So I can work out and run and sprint and sweat, and these stay locked in my ear, and they're essentially just like fitness versions of the AirPods Pro. So you have noise cancellation, transparency mode, everything like that. The battery lasts forever. But yeah, these have been solid. I can definitely recommend these for a pair of workout headphones. All right, moving on from there, we have, we'll go to my Apple Watch here. I am using the Apple Watch Ultra, and the reason I really picked this up is because I really liked the aesthetic of it, like most people, but I also really loved the fact that it had, I don't know why I put it down, that it had extremely good battery life. So one of my favorite things about the Apple Watch is using it as an alarm, because I hate hearing the alarm sound in the morning. So being able to wear the Apple Watch to bed and just have it tap my wrist to wake me up in the morning has been super handy. It's also great for taking naps. So like when you get really tired and you take a nap, I usually will like set like a 30-minute or an hour timer. I know that's pretty much sleeping, that's not really a nap, but I'll do that, and then it'll just tap me awake when it's time to get back up. I also love tracking my workouts on it and things like that. I wasn't a huge Apple Watch guy before the Ultra. I've owned like every single one, but I'd always end up not wearing them after a while. And so But when the Ultra came out, I don't know, something about the way it looks, the fact that the battery lasts for multiple days, I just found myself constantly wearing this, and it's become one of my favorite pieces of tech. I actually ended up selling it a few months ago, and then regretting it, and then buying another one. So that's what we have here. And I have the kind of the black athletic Velcro strap. I also have the Alpine loop in the green, but I find this one to just be a lot more comfortable. So that's the one we're using on the Apple Watch. I do carry a pocket knife, and this one is pretty special. This is the Peter McKinnon Pete's Pirate Life pocket knife. So I picked this one up during their drop. Unfortunately, you can't get it anymore unless Pete decides to bring it back. So before this, I was using a little Benchmade mini bug out, but when Pete released this, I just knew I had to have it. Pete's one of my favorite photographers, and it's just kind of that cool little crossover of worlds. I know Pete's really into knives. Not the hugest knife guy, like I don't have like 100 of them. I'll pretty much just only have, I'm planning on having this one until it breaks, so hopefully the rest of my life essentially. But yeah, this mostly gets used for like opening packages. I get a lot of packages, Amazon boxes like everyone else. I also use it to like open candy at the movies sometimes, because I go see a lot of movies with my buddy, and sometimes I'm trying to get my trolleys, you know, my sour worms or my fruit snacks or whatever, and the tear part on the bag won't go, so I'll just like flip my knife out and like cut the bag open. So that's pretty handy. Definitely recommend having a pocket knife on you. It is one of those little tools that just comes in handy, and you don't really know how helpful it is until you've carried one every day. So yeah, that's my pocket knife. Okay, moving on, we have my wallet. So this is actually the Moft stand MagSafe wallet, and Moft is kind enough to sponsor today's video, but more on that in a little bit. But I do use this wallet every day. So the thing that makes this wallet nice is, again, yeah, it's a MagSafe wallet, so it will just MagSafe onto the back of your phone. It's made out of leather, it feels super nice, but it also doubles as a stand for your phone, so you can just like fold it out and then do that, and then plop it on your phone, and then kind of stand it up like that, or stand it up forward. But yeah, I don't actually usually carry this wallet like on the back of my phone, like in MagSafe. I'll usually just have it on the, like in my back pocket, and then when I need to use it, like as a stand to stand my phone up, I'll just pop it up and then put my phone stand. But most of the time it's just in my back pocket, because I don't like having anything on my phone. I like to just have it naked. I like the feel of a naked a naked phone. But yeah, so that's the Moft wallet here. And then yeah, I probably use this the most when eating out. So I will sometimes I'll find myself eating alone at like a restaurant or something like that, and so I'll get my food like maybe at Chipotle, and while I'm eating my burrito, I'll just plop this on, set up my phone, and I'll just throw my AirPods in, and I'll just eat my burrito and catch up on some YouTube videos or whatever show I'm watching. I just finished watching Severance. Good show. Super excited for the second season. I know I'm late to the game on that, but I finally watched it, and yeah, that was good. I really liked Severance. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it. Yeah, so that's my wallet. Moving from there, my hair's falling out. Get out. Whatever. I'll keyframe it out in post. All right, next up we have my Switch. So the Switch here is definitely a newer addition to the EDC. So let me get this, it's a little too bright. There we go. All right, so the Switch is definitely a new, whoop. There we go. So the Switch is, let's try this again. The Switch is definitely a new addition to the EDC, and that is purely because Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I was a huge fan of Breath of the Wild. When I first moved to Utah, I didn't really have any friends, and so I played Breath of the Wild all the time, and it kind of got me through my first few years here in Utah. So I was really excited for Tears of the Kingdom to come out. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit busier now than I was 6 years ago when Breath of the Wild came out. So I'm playing this game super slow. Like, I am just barely off of the like tutorial island, and I've done like 2 shrines and already died like 100 times. But it's a really good game and I really enjoy it. So that's why I've added this Switch back into the EDC. I honestly didn't have a Switch forever. I had sold my original Switch and then bought this one for Tears of the Kingdom because I knew I was going to play it a bunch. But on the Switch itself, you'll probably notice I don't have regular Joy-Cons. These are actually the Hori split pad compact. So before having the Switch, my handheld like kind of gaming platform of choice was the Steam Deck, and it has a much more ergonomic and larger grip. And again, like I mentioned before when I was talking about my iPhone, I have rather large hands, and so the regular Joy-Cons I find to just be a little too small to use on a day-to-day basis, especially for a game like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom that I'm going to be spending a lot of hours playing. I'm a big handheld gamer when it comes to the Switch. I almost pretty much always play handheld. So adding in these Hori split pads was really nice because they just have a much larger grip and more ergonomic design. You also get some added functionality. You get some programmable back buttons here. You also get an actual D-pad, which is really nice. But yeah, these have been super comfy. Also, these joysticks here, super nice. Like some of the best joysticks I've ever used. But yeah, I could easily play with this for hours like this. But yeah, Tears of the Kingdom has been awesome. The Hori split pad has been great. Definitely been enjoying that. All right, listen here. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Austin, why are you doing that trendy thing where you hold a Shure SM7B like it's a handheld microphone? It's not a handheld microphone. I don't have an answer to that question. I don't know why I'm doing it. You might also be thinking that, dang, this angle and this lighting setup looks really good. And you'd be right. It does look really good right now. But neither of those things are the point of this ad spot. This ad spot is here to tell you about Moft and their new Floatfolio case for iPad. Moft's Floatfolio case for iPad is their newest iPad case. It comes in 3 different colors: gray, which is my personal favorite, brown, and black. This folio can be used in 3 different modes. You have your traditional focus mode, a drawing mode, and the standout float mode, which brings your iPad closer to eye level. The Floatfolio is also made out of vegan leather, which means it's a lot more durable than Apple's traditional silicone folio case. It's also not going to show all of those grease and fingerprints over time like Apple's official folio case. If you want to pick up one of these folio cases for yourself, they will be listed in the first link down in the description. Thanks again to Moft for sponsoring this video, and now without any further ado, let's get back to my everyday carry. I'm gonna put this mic down, I look ridiculous. Alright, moving on to my camera of choice. Like you know, I am a photographer, videographer, so I will usually have a camera with me. I don't carry this with me every single day because like I mentioned before, the iPhone's photos have gotten really good for like everyday stuff. But when I feel like I want to get some more professional shots or I'm going for like a day trip, this is what I'll bring with me. So the camera body is the Sony a7 IV. And then the lens is actually usually not this one. This is my 35mm f1.4 GM. This is a great lens and probably my favorite prime lens that I own. If you know me and follow me over on Instagram, you know predominantly most of my photography work is done on 35mm. But when I'm kind of traveling or going for the day, I'll actually usually take my 24-70, the G Master Mark II. But that one is currently filming our top-down rig right now, so I just have the 35 on here. But yeah, I actually took this recently to a trip. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I just took a trip to Disneyland for maybe 2 weeks ago. And yeah, this is the combo I took. I'll throw up some of the shots I was able to get while I was there. I didn't take too many photos while I was there, but here's at least a few of them that I did. But yeah, so I took the a7 IV, the 24-70, and I like that for like an everyday combo because I feel like when I'm kind of going out for the day and I'm not really planning on shooting a lot, having a zoom lens like a 24-70 is really nice because it lets me capture a variety of shots. Because like I said, when you're out on like a day trip or just kind of hanging out with friends, you don't quite know exactly what you're going to be shooting. So having that versatility in a zoom lens is super great. But yeah, I do like the a7 IV for travel. It's got, or just like everyday stuff. So it's got a great resolution, 33 megapixels. It shoots great video. It's also a little bit It's also less expensive than like my other two cameras, like the FX3 and the A7R5 that I'm filming this talking head on. And so I'm a little less concerned about something happening to it when I'm out and about, because I know I'll have these two at home, and these are kind of my main workhorses. But yeah, honestly, I know that this is a bit overkill for a everyday camera. The A7 IV is extremely capable and is definitely a professional camera. Honestly, when I'm at home, this sits on my gaming desk as a webcam, but again, I have a few other cameras and I have it, so this is what I use it for. All right, last but not least in the everyday carry is my iPad. This is Apple's M1 iPad Air. It's currently dead. I didn't charge it for the video or wipe off the fingerprints, but I am not gonna sit here and tell you, here, come here. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I am some iPad guru, super hyper productivity guy, Notion everything, good notes, Apple Pencil, elitist. No, I watch things on my on my iPad. So my iPad is not a productivity tool whatsoever. My iPad is literally used for watching Hulu and Amazon Prime or YouTube in bed, or like while I'm down in the kitchen cooking. I do not do anything really productive on my iPad. If I'm gonna do anything productive, I'm going to grab my MacBook Pro, which is sitting on the desk behind me. But yeah, I am a full-on consumer when it comes to the iPad. And I have it in this MOF case, which I showed off in the ad spot, but this is their kind of float folio. And I really like this case because you can kind of fold it out and stand it up really easy. And it's at kind of more of like an eye level when you do that. So unlike a regular folio, you can get a little bit more vertical real estate with this stand here like this. So that's pretty cool. Again, I am 6'3", so bringing the iPad closer to my face when I'm watching stuff while eating cereal is definitely a plus for me. I also just really like this gray color that they got for it. They also make it in a brown, but I like this gray color. It's also made out of vegan leather, so unlike Apple's official folio, it's gonna not like wear or get all those like grubby fingerprint marks on it. So yeah, I definitely love this. I do have the Apple Pencil here. Sometimes I will like use the iPad to like sign documents or contracts, or I will edit the occasional photo on it. But like I said, this is for watching things pretty much exclusively. This is not a productivity machine for me. That would be my MacBook. I've actually gotten really into solitaire recently. Again, I know I'm like 70 years old, but I like to play solitaire on the iPad too, like sometimes when I'm in bed. And yeah, super great. Love the iPad. Not for productivity, at least for me. Mostly watching things. Maybe I'll start using the iPad more productively now that Final Cut Pro is coming to it, but honestly that doesn't really excite me because I'm like, I already have Final Cut on my MacBook and that's more powerful and also portable. So yeah, I know a lot of people are really excited for Final Cut Pro, but I don't know, I'm just not productive when it comes to the iPad. I just want to watch YouTube and New Girl on it. All right, and that is pretty much it. That is my everyday carry. Like I said, it's super simple, nothing crazy, nothing you haven't really seen before, but this is, yeah, what I use every day. If you liked this video, make sure to give us a like and subscribe. I got lots more content planning. I know I've been a little lackluster on uploading recently. I'm trying to get better at it, and more recently I've been definitely feeling like I need to put more focus into making YouTube videos, so expect them to be a little bit more consistent in the future. I got a fun trip coming up that I'm gonna vlog, a photography trip, so definitely stay tuned for that. I think we're gonna get some really awesome images, and yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, all of that garbage. Follow me on socials. It's at austinrupp on everything, and yeah, I will see you real soon. See ya.